I am Dr. Adepoju Anuoluwapo, a graduate of University of Lagos College of Medicine, class of 2015. I am a fully registered member of Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria and a graduate member of Nigerian Medical Association. Also a physician member of American Academy of Cosmetic Surgery. We were closed since March 19th because of coronavirus outbreak in Nigeria. So the place was locked. They actually broke into the facility. They broke the gates, broke the door, went upstairs, broke the door upstairs as well. Took videos, took pictures of my theater, the ward, carted away with things, and that was it. So I cried out to the association, letting them know what has happened. And Nigerian Medical Association, and they wrote officially to federal FCCPC that they do not have any business with medical facilities, and that they also introduced me officially to the commission that I'm a doctor, because what they had there said I wasn't a doctor. They stated to them that I was a doctor. I graduated from the University of Lagos College of Medicine, and I completed my one-year internship program with Health Service Commission, and that my facility was registered with the Health Accreditation Board, and also that I am fully registered with Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, and that they do not have a right to investigate a medical facility. We we're in court currently.
You initiated the court process?
Yes, so my lawyer had to also write to them, and we're currently in court waiting for judgment to know when to open the facility. So we would have been able to do follow-up on patients if the facility wasn't sealed. So despite the COVID-19 outbreak, we stopped work, but then we would have been doing skeletal activities, have about a nurse or two nurses come over, manage patients who have done their surgery. But because the facility was sealed, we couldn't do follow-up on our patients, we couldn't do nothing. And we had to send some patients out to other facilities to get treatment at some point in time, at different points, in time, because this facility was sealed. And that was very risky because it could have brought issues, for the management of Medcontour. But we were able to just send patients out to other doctors to help us manage those who needed follow-up treatment. First, I would say, may her soul rest in peace. The lady in question was our patient. However, what was the reason we referred the patient for expert management was for a different reason entirely.
What was the reason?
It was a respiratory issue. So what was out there was that the lady had fat embolism, that she had fats transferred into her lungs, and that she died on the table. Those things are false, because the patient did not die on the table. The patient was fine after surgery. Surgery was successful. It was until 3 days after her surgery that she was referred to a different facility for respiratory, she had a respiratory issue, and we wanted them to manage for that condition because they had the respiratory unit in their facility. And she was there with them for about 31 days before she gave up the ghost. And when she died, the next thing I heard was that Dr. Anu is not a doctor, she's a nurse, she didn't finish medical school, she killed someone, and from there people started saying, oh, she has killed so many girls. No one has ever died in our facility, and it's sad that there's only a few people I can tell this to, because what is out there is she has killed so many ladies, she's killing our women, the place is a butchery, is an abattoir. I've had all sorts online, but I am saying nobody has ever died in our facility. Nobody has ever died on our table. it's a possibility, because I've had people tell me that people offer them money to come give negative accounts about me. I've heard so many people say that someone is sponsoring these stories out there. Even an ex-staff of mine told me they offered 200,000 to sell me out to them. So it's been like that. And there's this blogger who, tried to blackmail me. When they posted the first story, I contacted the person and said that this story is not true. I think you should hear from me as well. You should hear my side of the story. And then the person goes, oh, we heard this about you, we heard that about you. Anyway, if you want this to go away, then you have to pay 2 million naira.
Really?
And I said, oh, that is too much for what I did not do. Then the person was like, okay, you can do it, 1,500,000, 1.5 million naira. And you would have my support, you have my backing. Now, because I refused to make this payment, from that night that I refused to make the payments, and that it was just one video the person had posted about me at the time. From that moment, Gist Lover started to post things about me, lies. He tried to get pictures online, crop them together, say that it's my work, try to put all sorts of things. Recently, I saw online where Gist Lover said, oh, now what they do when they do surgeries for you at Medcontour is to cut off your nails, take your blood, take your hair for rituals. So you have to be careful once you're unconscious on the table. They do these things and they're recruiting women in Lekki. Now, I laughed when I saw it, because I'm like, first, you don't have one person in the theater when you're having a surgery done. You have a doctor, you have the surgeon, you have nurses, you have anesthesiologists, you have technicians in the theater, and then cleaners later. How is it possible to get someone's hair off, cut out the nails, cut out the hair without the person's consent? Unless they're talking about when you take out, if someone fixes nails and you want to put in an SpO2 monitor, which is what you use in checking the oxygen level of the blood. You take out the nails, you put the SpO2 monitor on the finger. Unless they're trying to say that when the person has pubic hair before coming in for surgery, you shave it because you don't need that. So unless that's what they're talking about, I do not know how it is possible for a patient to be unconscious and then you start to take such delicate things out of. You have to get the patient's consent to even shave the patient, or the patients actually take their nails off themselves if they need to use the SpO2 monitor. And sometimes we don't even need to do that. Our patients, besides, are always awake for surgery. We do only awake liposuction. We don't put patients under general anesthesia, and this is why we also have more patients come to us, because so many people are afraid to sleep for surgeries because they are afraid of death. And this is what others do. They put patients to sleep. We don't. And so we tend to get more of those patients. And this is why, I feel there's a bit of jealousy or rivalry coming from somewhere. I don't know where it is, but where it's coming from. But this is what I have noticed. But it's just ridiculous. And I believe people should think logically, logical enough to know that this is false. For Christ's sake, what do I need the blood money for when what I already do pays my bills?